Yes, yes, people, welcome back to Never a Foul live stream. We're doing something a bit different. Obviously, we do the pre-records, which you guys have been enjoying, but we're live in the studio today for the Champions League reaction. Newcastle taking PSG down differently, and Julian Alvarez, the main man for Manchester City so far this season, stepping up, like I said earlier before we started this show, with a shower man goal. And if you know about that word, you know about that word. Guys, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm in with Daps, of course. I'm in with Cass. Daps has actually just got the Argentina top. I just clocked that. I like it. And also, people, if you remember Feed the Goat, if you remember Man City and the podcast Daps used to do, we've got... There might be some originals in there. Let us know, actually.
You're such a hater. Feed the goat. And he will score. What are you saying, Sam?
Yeah, Sam's in the building.
I'm
Daps, you might as well introduce him, actually. Yeah.
Sam,
all good, thank you. We're happy.
Sam.
We're happy.
Studio debut.
Studio debut.
It's
good to be here.
Hey.
Well. Yeah, man. Got the retro kits out.
Lads, man.
Retro kits.
Absolutely crushed those toes.
What is that, Newcastle?
Yeah, man. That was big.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
mad. Was it 4-1 in the end?
Yeah.
Who's got? Hold on. The kids. Who scored the fourth?
Fabian Shaw.
Well, I'm telling you now, yeah. I'm telling you now. What?
We'll carry on. Cass,
hold on. Is Mike right? Thank you. Yeah. So imagine Mbappe is looking at the goal scorers. Yeah. Almiron, Fabian Shaw, Dan Burn, and
the third one.
Sean Longstaff.
Oh my.
PSG. Welcome to Newcastle. Yeah. Welcome to Newcastle. Where are the lads?
Yeah, that is literally like a full-on.
Do you know what? Someone said something as well, that Newcastle, someone on the podcast said the other day, that Newcastle, they get all sorts of results, innit? You know, like Liverpool grabbing up them 3-1s.
Yeah.
And like, your mic not on.
You didn't do it.
Sorry, people. I've just realised I plugged in. It was my job to plug all the mics
even
in.
Even Anana can't save the mic.
I forgot to plug in Cass's mic on purpose. But yeah. Newcastle results, man. Yeah. Go on over to you and Sam. Have a little chat.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Work friends.
Yeah, work friends. It's true. Do you know what? Actually, guys, if you've been watching the Saturday shows, Soup's just got me. Yeah, looking like that's right. I was talking to myself. Oh, got you. Okay. Do you know what? It can stay. It can stay on you, Sam.
So we can just talk. Can we talk about Rodri?
Important, isn't
he scored in Istanbul.
We're moving on to City.
Yeah, do you know what? Let them have their City moment for a second. Sorry, guys.
For a second. No, we'll talk on City later. We're going to talk on Newcastle first, right?
Yeah. I've got to ask Sam a question.
Cass is back.
Now we're here. We're back. Right. We're back. Right, guys. We're in the zone. This is just showing you guys what actually happens as well. Like, we're just vibing at the moment, setting up the camera. Cass's mic went on, but we're back now, people.
He sabotaged me, bro.
I know.
He actually sabotaged me.
Before Sam starts, though, we've got to ask him the question. If you've been watching the Saturday shows, we always do an out of context Premier League legend. So mine was Benjani, Sam. Daps's was Scott Carson. Cass's was
Diego Forlan.
Soups, I can't remember.
Pick one.
We've had, I can't remember what. But yeah, Sam, basically, whoever comes to your head, it doesn't have to be a proper legend. Who is your out of context, random as hell Premier? We've had Clint Dempsey, actually. Kesh said Clint Dempsey.
Not a bad one. Do you know what I like? Jason Ewell.
Oh,
Charlton and Wimbledon.
Throwback.
Remember him?
Do you know what?
Yeah,
Sips reminds me of him a little bit, actually, over there.
Jason
Ewell.
They're racist.
No, he does. The beard, just a little like the
beard, the skin tone.
If anyone remembers Jason, do you remember Jason?
Yeah,
Charlton Athletic legend. Him, Wimbledon and Sean Bartlett. You remember players like that?
Sean Bartlett front.
Sean Bartlett.
Wow. Jason Ewell, you actually took it for the most random one, you know. What made you think of? I actually need to know why Jason Ewell.
I love that. That is why it's great. No one gets told that question. They just, if you're watching it, obviously, then they're going to come on. They know. But okay, so we've got Jason Ewell thrown in. But guys, we're here to talk Champions League, the big tournament, the main club football tournament. Newcastle back in the Champions League after 20 years without it. Under the lights. We always say big games under the lights. Do you know what I'm saying? I love that saying. and they delivered tonight. The fans were rocking, scoring 4 against PSG that started Kylian Mbappe, Dembele, Goncalo Ramos, and Kolo Muani. They went all-out attack, and they got blitzed tonight. To be fair, I don't mind who goes, but Newcastle will be rocking tonight. What a way for them to come back.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, when you actually think about Champions League kind of like home games, the first game back, I actually think to get that sort of result in this context is
All right, speak
unbelievable.
up. Don't
For
try.
them. If you think back to City's first game against Napoli,
Was that your first Champions League game?
First game.
Okay.
We need to drop the bag in that one. Cavani breakaway, Collar free kick save just late on.
Your memory's mad.
So-
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and I think for them to come into a game like that, and obviously St James's atmosphere is
Yeah, crazy.
special. But I think to get that sort of result in the bag, the top of the group now, am I right in thinking? as well?
Yes, top
They're
of the
top
group.
of the group.
4
the
points
Joys.
because they got a draw away at AC Milan. Obviously, Dortmund drew tonight with AC Milan.
Yep.
So when I'm looking at it, I'm already looking at Newcastle thinking, and this is my perspective in it. Newcastle, great stadium, great fans. They are going to win all their home games. That's exactly how I'm looking at it. Tonight they're beating PSG, who I think they're the toughest team they could play in their group. They're going to beat Dortmund because Dortmund are not going to know what's hitting when they hit the Geordie atmosphere. And AC Milan, Tonali against his old club, the way they've got a draw in their first game away from home. That's basically Newcastle in my head. 10 points. They're going into the knockout stage.
Bro, they're back. You can't say they're not back now, right? Like they smashed Sheffield. They just won against on the weekend. Who did they just beat again? Burnley.
yeah.
That was easy food for them.
Yeah, yeah.
They just go
Burnley. Fucking hell.
yeah, whatever. They smashed, but like they didn't get
They beat
dominated.
Burnley
They
properly.
properly,
they
yeah.
beat Burnley properly.
And then also, why are you shaking? Ty? Are you scared? Well, what's it called?
No, the Coke is just banging.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, but and
the
then they go
drink.
smash four. They
The
go,
drink.
Coca-Cola.
they go
Yeah.
smash Mbappe FC, who I thought was going to absolutely rip Mbappe or Trippier to pieces, and it's 4-1.
Mm.
It's that's
And
And
mental.
you know what?
what?
I
You know
need
what?
to,
Go
I
on,
need to,
go on.
I need to watch it later, yeah, to see how PSG performed.
Like their mentality, they're
To
walking
see,
around, the
like,
energy. Yeah.
Well, because it is one of them ones where it's the northeast, it's the far northeast. I don't know if it was raining up there today, but they've been to Manchester before.
Cold
They
night
think-
Wednesday
They
in
think, bro, they
Newcastle.
think Manchester's bad, yeah. You're going a lot further north, yeah. You're on the coast, yeah.
It was raining
And
tonight as
bro,
well.
that's what I'm saying. Welcome to Newcastle.
Yeah,
I'm
facts.
telling you, yeah. And that
100%.
ground will have been rocking.
Yeah, and they've set the tone now
Rocking.
because now they've got. If you lose your first game at home after not being in the Champions League for so long, I feel like that nervous energy they had going into it makes it even more nerve-wracking for the second game. 'Cause it's like we must win at home. Now they've got that first one out of the bag. It's like they're just ready. They want it again. They want it tomorrow. They'll play again tomorrow if they could because they've got the energy. They've got the win now. The atmosphere is rocking. It's like bring on the next one. Whereas when you lose it, if you lost to PSG tonight and then they're playing Dortmund or AC Milan, whoever it is next at home, it can make it a bit more nervous because it's like we have to win. They've beaten PSG now. It's not like they have to win.
How
even
many
though they
wins
want
is it
to.
on the bounce for them now?
I don't know. When was their last
So they
defeat?
beat us.
Since you lot, have they lost their
No. The one.
They lost to you lot in the league. I think that was their
No.
last loss.
Yeah. And then they went on and spanked Sheffield United.
Yeah. When did they lose to Liverpool?
Then-
Was that after
then they
you lot?
beat-
That was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I swear they've won 4 on the bounce.
Brighton.
Against Brentford.
Is it 4 or 5 on the bounce now?
Yeah, they're
You could
finding
say
a
they're
bit of
finding
form.
their form back. And I'm telling you, goals all over the gaff.
Yeah.
Goals that
Which-
Sheffield United's team,
I
8
mean,
different goal scorers
Brexit
tonight.
FC scored today. Proper way, innit? You got Almiron, whatever. Sean Longstaff, Fabian Shaw,
Dan Burn,
Dan
who's
Burn.
a local as well. He'll be loving that.
Mate,
It was how
local.
happy Almiron looked.
he's
Yeah.
always happy.
He's just come back in the side. He's got 2 goals in 2 games. So
There we go.
it
He's
shows
back.
the competition for places. Jacob Murphy. I know they haven't got the biggest names. And sometimes this is what it shows. When you play in the Champions League, like PSG have done over the years, they've had the big stars. They had the Messi. They tried the Neymars, and they always fell short. Quarterfinals, semi-finals, lost to a Bayern in a final as well. They're trying to go away from that PSG with obviously Mbappe, the only sort of main guy there from Paris. They've obviously got Goncalo Ramos. They've got Kolo Muani. Yes, they're big names, Sam, but they're not like, oh my God, do you know what I mean? But they're trying to make that sort of that team cohesion again. But
Yeah.
for me, with PSG doing that, that's going to be another year. I don't think they win the Champions League. So they're going to try and go for a rebuild, and it might take 2 or 3 years. But when you think of that 2 or 3 years, Real Madrid are going to be getting better with Bellingham coming in. Man City are going to keep improving. You're going to get Liverpool that potentially be back in it next year. They're going to be better. There's going to be teams that are going to keep getting better and better. And PSG just can't seem to get over this hurdle. It's a mental thing. I think it's a big, big mental thing with PSG.
Isn't they underestimated Newcastle tonight? If you go through the lineup, how attacking that is
Yeah.
away from home.
They don't know about the atmosphere. They definitely don't know about the atmosphere. I think they did underestimate Newcastle when you look at the names. Like Cass said, you look at the squad. No Botman either tonight. Yeah, and
Man said no Botman.
Yeah.
And they got Botman. Hey, Lascelles is on the pitch.
Yeah, Jamal.
Oh, Jamal.
Yeah.
Hey,
Uncle Jamal.
that's shocking. That, you know what?
That's actually mad, you know. Yeah,
That's
Jamal
shocking.
Lascelles starting.
Jamal.
Wait, you see these United fans have got a smile on their face again now.
Why? Oh, big up,
But
Andy,
you
I
know
see
what?
that.
What you were saying then about PSG?
Yeah,
'Cause
mentality.
For years it's been like
Me and you, by the way, we've always discussed this since we started Never Felt like 3 years ago. Every year, I've always said this is PSG's year, but you've always said the mental.
It was like this one where it was PSG and City who will do it first. Yeah, who will win the Champions League first. And we've played PSG. We didn't play them last year, did we?
Year before you did.
But the year before we had them in group stage. Year before that we had them in the knockout, and I think maybe even the year before that we had them in the knockout as well. Haven't we played them in the semis and the quarters in knockout?
Yeah.
So, and we've always got the better of them, apart from that one game where Messi popped up with a winner in the group stage, but still. But we always say that with our mentality, we had to get over it, but we've managed to get over it. Whereas I think it's got to a point now where it's not like one, you know, before it's like, oh, you're thinking PSG might do something in the Champions League. I'm never thinking, I'm not looking at PSG and going, oh, you know what? I think they could do something. In fact, maybe at the very start of this season, because they started the season all right in France. And you're thinking maybe, but again, tonight they've just shown it. They're not going to have it. Like they're not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you look at some of the other teams, when you get into the knockout stages, even if Bayern aren't looking that good, when you get to the knockout stages, you'll be like, but PSG, you're going to think, get them in the knockout stages. You know they're going to bottle it.
Yeah, it's true.
And the fans, and also I think this is key as well, is that PSG's fans are sick and tired of it now. You know, before they're sick and tired of everything going on at their club. Like Parisian Londoner is not a happy man. Like he's done with the way it is at the moment, innit? You speak to him.
That's why I see what you were saying. Like they're trying to divert away from the big names and go through these like Brandon Bacolas, DeColo Wines and Ramos. But it is going to take time. But do you think with PSG, it's the right way to go?
Yeah, you got a project manager who's got a certain identity. They're bringing up through young French ballers. They're never going to really. No one actually expect them to win Champions League this year. Tonight for them is a howl of how big the size of the club is and the status that they do have. But this could be a wake-up call for them.
True.
They're doing good in the league. Well, they're doing enough in the league at the moment. And they're going to have to wait maybe a couple of years before it develops into something. Like Dembele hasn't clicked at the moment. Ramos hasn't clicked at the moment. Barcola hasn't clicked at the moment.
Is he trying to fit too many attackers in? Like tonight, so basically tonight, he has not played he hasn't played the front four in the league altogether. He's always had like Ramos on the bench or like Dembele on the bench. But tonight, like Sam said, to go to Newcastle away and try and play all four, I think I like Luis Enrique. I think he's picked the wrong game to play all the front four. I think it's the wrong. What do you think, Daps? I think it's the wrong game out of all. Even you, Sam. I think it's the wrong game out of all four to play them.
Make sure the mic's not your face like that.
Oh, I think I was going there. Left to right.
No, but do you know what? I think that's a really good point that Sam made, because so far, if you look at the period with Messi, with Mbappe, with Neymar, there was even like they're then trying to at times they're also trying to squeeze in Di Maria in there as well. It was like it wasn't balanced. It's like you're putting, and I think you're spot on, away at Newcastle, and also a team that can hit you on the counter, to play that attacking against them. I think they underestimated. I think they looked at Newcastle and thought, like we can go out and really stamp a mark on this game.
Was that game early this season? I think it was a good game between PSG and somebody else. I think they just about won 3. They lost 3-2
against Nice.
Yeah. Exactly what did they do?
And Kefri, that guy was
counter-attack.
Yeah,
exactly the same thing. So,
and that was actually at PSG.
Yeah, it was. So this is. Bro, if I'm Newcastle, I'm buzzing. I'm top of the group.
Yep.
We've got Dortmund next.
Oh, is that who they got? Is away or home?
I don't think it actually matters at this point. Go get a point.
Yeah.
Go get they got their home games in the bag, man. If I'm a Newcastle fan, and I know I don't come across as the most, I don't always big.
I know. I saw someone in there saying strawberry cheeks.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to. Yeah, bro, you got to big them up, man. That's massive for the club.
It is. Like, I'm happy for them though. I'll be honest. Forget Liverpool and all that. When we talk about Newcastle, I do love their fans. I do love their stadium. I do love watching when their night is big at Newcastle. I think in terms of England crowds and stuff like that, top 5 for me. Because when you think about it, you've got London, for example, but you've got Chelsea, you've got your Tottenhams, you've got your Arsenals. It's very, me and Soups are saying on the way here, it's very split. When you go to Newcastle, right, everybody supports Newcastle. It's not like you're going to get Man United fans there. It's a one city, one club. They die hard. They ride for it. They've been waiting for this 20 years. You're going to have the new up-and-coming fans that haven't seen this, who are now our age, who have never seen them in the Champions League. And then you're going to have some people that their parents are in their 50s, 60s, that they're taking their child. And they're living their dreams tonight. Like, or even away from the football. You've got people that are going there with their families tonight. This is huge for the city, bro. I thought Cass was going to get emotional now.
I knew what was going to happen there. You waxed lyrical about Newcastle too much to the point where he's like, "Fuck them." Man. I could see the look on his face. He's like, "Nah, fuck this Newcastle prop. I've had enough of it."
You know, with the fans and like with the parents and their children, like they're all going.
Oh, bro, I saw it last week when we played him in the League Cup.
Yeah.
They
all celebrating. Like
they're celebrating. Huge. Yeah, because do you know what? It's like I'll be real. It is. We saw it with our club, innit? Like,
yeah.
These nights, this is what everyone wants. Yeah, everyone wants. And last week, to be fair, I was saying for me, they're not going to win the Champions League. They need to concentrate more on things like the League Cup. Yeah, that they can win and get their first trophy. But you look at tonight and ignore what I said. Yeah, if you can have moments like this, but I still think they need to go and get a trophy, because then it's going to make the journey to really starting to win things a lot easier.
Once you win one, you want more. 100%. I'm just going to look at the super chats. Big up people for sending them in. I've got RTX. He has said Alvarez is 1 goal away from equaling Rashford's entire UCL goal tally in just 1 year. I did not know that.
Back him now then, bro. Back him now.
City and Newcastle are carrying the Premier League in Europe. Not wrong at all. And I didn't know that about Alvarez. And what a season he's having so far, or what a year he's had.
Oh, he's won it all.
Yeah, he's won it all.
Wait,
it's
who
incredible.
Else got Europe? Arsenal. Oh yeah,
Arsenal. And they got beat by contact lens.
Wednesdays must be the day, innit?
That's his best joke ever.
I love it though.
Contact lens.
The next one is
proud of that one.
From Craig Lee.
That's getting clipped.
Dan Byrne, National League to Champions League. What a journey.
Vardy type shit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And do you know what? Like I was saying earlier, he's actually from Newcastle as well. So for him, that's even a childhood dream. I think he done an interview talking about he was there when I think Andy Griffin scored their last goal when we were talking about the other day at work in the Champions League 2001, 2003.
What, he was there?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah. He was there. So
let it burn.
Yeah, and then big up Alex as well. Oh yes, Alex. Love that. That's Alex, who also does our production as well on Saturdays.
Yes, Alex.
What kind of super chat is that? $1.99. You're cheap.
We need to pay him more. Alex, I hope you enjoy your game tomorrow night.
Big up the Never a Foul commitment. Big up Alex, man. Hope you're good, my brother. So now, when you look at it now, as a Newcastle fan, like you were saying, like going for maybe a cup trophy, but now, they have belief that, we've beaten PSG. Let's just keep going. Do you think now, and this is, I'm not trying to put a downer on Newcastle fans. I'm just asking a question. Cass, if Newcastle have got 4 points now, they've got Dortmund at home and AC Milan at home. If they don't go through from this situation, right now, looking at it, is it a disappointment?
Yeah, 100% now. They made us look like right dickheads, you know that? This is what I'm seeing it from. It's Man United point. They're making us look like dickheads, yeah? They don't even have the squad, right? And we've been saying they didn't have the squad to go and do Europe and
the quality.
They're going back up in the league. They're getting their run going again. They got Chelsea soon. That's easy, whatever. I'm just saying, they got that going on. The top of their group. This is where we should be right now. We should be top of the group, or at least from Thomas Tuchel's.
Close to
bro, we done a reverse. Bro, this is Uno. This is not good. This is I'm hating differently right now.
You know what?
This is disgusting.
You are right, because of the fact that, like, I remember a conversation we had last year, where I was like speaking at this time last year. I was speaking about kind of as City fans, when we're in the Champions League, like we're still like, oh, if someone says, and this is this time last year, are you going to win it? We'd still be like, well, I don't know, we need to get it. And I was like, but the thing is, Man United get Champions League football. If I ask any Man United fan, could you win it? Why can't we? We've done it before, yeah. And now
what did I say the other day?
You're looking at you, man. I believe I saw something early. Galatasaray have never won in England or something. 117 years.
What did
never
Sue
won
say
in
the
England.
other day? Every week there's a new record.
Bro, 100. 117 years, never won in England.
Wow.
They rock up at the Theatre of
Sack him.
Dreams, the Swamp.
Sack him, bruv.
Cass,
sack him.
No, they're gonna clip this.
Bro, it should have been. It should have been
watching. Make sure
should
you
have
like
been
the
10
video.
as well. To be
I
fair,
didn't know that. That's a mad stat, you know. And Wilfried Zaha to come back first Champions League game,
He was
and
shit
he
as
scores
well.
against us. I know he was not good. I know, but
I've got another
let's
stat
see
as well.
United. Smash a like though if you're happy that United.
Go on, I
lost.
got another Galatasaray related stat.
Go on then.
They haven't scored away in the Champions League for something like 10 years.
Oh,
I'm not
get
even
me out of this
joking.
street, man.
Bag three.
penalty. We don't need that.
10 years.
It was against Schalke or something like that.
I was a bloody uni.
No,
Oh
that's
my
mad.
god, they had Wesley Sneijder
just
probably
about-
playing in midfield.
I was figuring out what I wanted to do after school. I just got dropped from
real
academy
talk,
ball.
real
just
talk,
got
innit?
dropped.
Yeah, you would have just been finishing fucking college.
I was
my God,
wearing
that
Air
is-
Forces
that's-
still,
that-
coloured ones.
Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button, please. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel as well. Guys, if you want to become a member, it's down below. There is gold and silver tier memberships. Also, don't forget that we'll have the Saturday live show as well. We'll have all the build up to that for the Premier League weekend. Don't forget, it is the Man City and Arsenal big clash this weekend. We are going to move on to Man City shortly. But with Eddie Howe, just want to say this season, people said that, you know, including myself, we asked that. Well, actually, Sammy went on the show, but start of the season, I said, if you look at the top 6, 7 managers, who do you think would have been the first to get sacked this season? Obviously, none have got sacked yet. My one was actually Jurgen Klopp or Eddie Howe, because I didn't know how Eddie Howe was going to respond to being in the Champions League and what their transfer window was going to be like. And Klopp, I just thought if they don't start well, is it going to be that restfulness from last season? But Eddie Howe so far, how do you think he's, you know, started the season, should I say, not studied, started the season combining Champions League and with the league? And do you think actually the Champions League might impact them in the Premier League?
I think he's turned it around well. I think when you look at the fact they lost to City, Liverpool, Brighton, 3 on the bounce,
Yeah.
the kind of momentum that was lost in that first game of the season when they beat Villa 5-1, to then lose 3 on the bounce. Like if you imagine any of the other teams you mentioned there losing 3, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, United. You don't have to imagine it with United, but but the other teams, right? The pressure that brings, and he was under pressure at that point, and people were thinking, Eddie Howe, is this where it's going to go a little bit? Because those owners, you know, they will not hesitate. If
And
things
don't
go
forget,
down the
they
pan.
also came out and gave him a vote of confidence.
Yeah, which is we can be a killer.
Yeah.
So I think the fact they've turned it around now and won X amount of games in a row, whatever it is, beat Brentford and Burnley, City in the Cup, now Champions League, gone away and got a decent result in Milan, and now probably looking in good shape to go
What
through.
you say, Sam? I can't hear you, mate.
Fucking
Fucking
what
hell.
the mics for, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Good reply. That I give you that.
So yeah, I think he's done really well. I mean, in terms of going into the next few weeks now, they've got 2 games out of the way in the group stage, 4 games left. He's utilising the squad pretty well, to be fair.
I give him that. No,
They've got a few injuries, but you know, Harvey Barnes out, Botman out, and they're still kind of picking up results. So yeah, I think he's got to get credit. He's not. I'm not. I think he's always done well, but I'm always thinking there's going to be a ceiling at some point. But it's making.
It's like, what is that ceiling?
He's making it harder to guess what that ceiling's going to be.
Yeah, go on, Daps.
I was just going to say, I saw a comment earlier. Yeah.
Oh, go on.
What on here?
Who Sam looks like? Someone put, who's that McAllister looking dude?
Well, he looks like I said he looks like Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw,
like just not a weighty version, you know.
So Luke Shaw when
He
he was
doesn't look like
Luke Shaw
McAllister.
many years ago.
I mean, maybe McAllister slash like
I
Messi.
slightly see the McAllister
There's a Messi look in there as well, with it. The face.
It's a Messi.
And to be fair, McAllister and Messi do look a bit.
Yeah,
like-
just as tall as him as well. Yeah.
So you.
I'm taller than you.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry, Mo. We're all taller than Mo. No, I'm joking. Love you, Mo. Love you, Mo.
I don't.
Love you, Mo.
But,
Love you, Mo.
Yeah. What were you gonna say on Eddie Howe? What do you think he's done? Yeah, like this
No,
season.
I think the bounce back's been good. Because at one point, I do feel like they're going to give him more time than I first thought, because I've always looked at it a bit like the Mark Hughes thing, that he'll be given up to a point, but then I started thinking, do you know what? He seems to have a lot better relationship. And if you look at their spending and whatever, they seem to be far more patient. But I'm not going to lie, when they started losing those games, I was thinking, maybe.
And then you thought with Champions League coming up, is it going to get even worse?
But
yeah,
I think it's a good point that, again, this is the first time. And they were in the League Cup last week as well. They won that. They've just won in the Champions League as well against PSG. It's going to do a lot for their confidence. Do you know they've got the weekend?
Yeah, West Ham away.
Oh, that's a big game
That's
for them.
that's
a
good
very
game.
big game for
But
them.
you know what? Funny enough, Cass, I just thought about it. Like Daps says, Carabao Cup, they've got other Old Trafford. And right now, we've lost 3 in a row.
Bro.
When is that? That must be after the international break.
Yeah, it's their first week back after.
Ooh.
Yeah, midweek.
First week back
30th,
after.
30th of October week.
Well, you better get some wins on the trot, mate.
Yeah, we need.
Guess who we got soon? We got them lot.
After Newcastle.
No, it's City then Newcastle. I looked at the run last
City
night.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
Over Old
City
Trafford.
on the Sunday.
You lot are playing a lot of home games. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's what I said to you.
We started
This is why I got gassed about Man United can win 6 out of the next 7.
That was you,
losing it. More like lose 6 out of 7.
Yeah, man. Talking
like
about
that.
Man City, man.
Yeah,
Haaland should get dropped,
way.
don't you think?
No.
Say that again, Sergeant here.
I said Haaland should get dropped, don't you think?
You know, this is what happens, people. Yeah.
I was actually talking over
these man lose in the Champions League. Yeah, right. We come and we win.
Ooh.
And what should we talk about first with Manchester City? I know. Let's talk about dropping Haaland. Let's not talk about them winning 3-1 away from home.
Let's talk about.
But if you want to talk,
let's talk about Jack Grealish being in the same bracket as Anthony, according to.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna have to. That is sticking with you forever.
What
You said it in a group yesterday in a group chat. You put Grealish in the same bracket as Anthony and Havertz.
And somebody else.
Yeah, I did. No, not as a player. I'm talking about prices of players. I was bracketing them from 70 to 100 million. You joker.
Don't know about that.
No.
I'm gonna have to pull out VAR.
No. Grealish is clear. There's no VAR here. But yeah, I was talking about price of players. Like
Okay.
Grealish went for 100.
But look, let's talk on Haaland real quick. You are right. You know what? Today Haaland looked completely off the boil.
But he's getting in the right position.
But we know he's going to get in the right places. I'm not going to lie. I actually said during the game, I said, do you know what? I kind of hope he doesn't score, yeah, because I know if he doesn't score, people will be looking for negatives on City, and the one to go to will be Haaland. And, you know, I'm sure there will be some Arsenal fans saying, oh, you know what? Haaland's not firing, right? I would say it, man, because listen, every time people say Haaland's off form,
he goes and scores.
You know what happens, innit? But this is a beauty of now having Alvarez as well. That I mean, he came on 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah,
he's on fire, man. He's on fire. And that finish. And do you know what? This is what you need, because it almost started to look a bit like I don't want to say it was like the Wolves game, because we're moving the ball about right. We're moving the ball about quickly, but it did look again like, are we struggling to break this team down? And that's where you need moments. That's where you need players like Alvarez to come on and score goals like that.
In the first, you should have
yeah, we did. I thought I was generally happy with the
fair.
performance. I just think maybe the final ball and Haaland being off boil, that was a difference. And you know what? We kept going, kept doing it, and over to Sammy with a proper breakdown.
Yeah. No, to be fair, because I do. You two are cracking me up now. Oh, we need to get some back on you again now. But yeah, big up everyone who's watching. No, you two are cracking me up.
You got to make them feel comfortable, man.
Yeah.
Icebreaker.
Yeah, no, it's true.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's true. I like it. He's got the wedding ring on the show as well. He's like, don't worry,
that's Kiki.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm not anywhere else. But no, seriously, I do want to touch on Julian Alvarez, because I think the way he's come into the when I say touch on him, yeah, you got me sharp. I do want to speak on Julian Alvarez, because to be fair, me and Daps have spoke about it, and I think he was going to have an important role to play this season. I think last year he saw moments, he saw glimpses of what he can do. You know, instinct finisher. He's got that mentality as well. He's come from River Plate where he won things. He's gone to Argentina in the World Cup. I think Lautaro Martinez started, didn't quite work out. He come in and they started playing like a team. He allowed Messi to sort of go out there, be himself, and I'll play for the team. They got the results. He's come in this start of the season. Grealish has had his injuries and stuff like that. Bernardo's been in and out, and he has stepped up. Big goals, playing in the pockets, IQ as well, intelligence. And I think Erling Haaland's loving it, because it's freeing him up as well. And defenders are now having to occupy both. But for me, Sam, I just want you to speak on Julian Alvarez, because I just think that at the moment, he is your main man. And it's not taking anything away from Haaland. Haaland will still score goals. But in terms of the team, digging you out, getting the big goals when it's needed. Newcastle, you know, is an example at home. I just think this guy at the moment, Wolves away on the weekend scoring, free kicks he's adding to his game. He started to become sort of that complete sort of package. And he's only, what, 22?
Yeah, 22, yeah. The biggest compliment I can pay Julian Alvarez this year is that we've not really missed Kevin De Bruyne yet.
Yeah,
and
that's the maddest part when you think about it.
Yeah. He's kind
of
KDB,
but all these wins still.
And I think
maybe KDB was the issue to their slow starts. Before about that.
I
think about it logically. Think about it. Think about it.
No, obviously we'd still be and KDB's KDB, so we don't have to touch upon him. But with Alvarez, that's the biggest compliment we can play him. We haven't missed him this season. He's coming in clutch, and he's kind of growing into this role that Pep's had him doing, where he's come into midfield. And it was the West Ham game back from international break where I think it just suddenly clicked for him, because the game before that against Fulham, yes, we won convincingly, but Alvarez, and he actually got a few assists in that game as well for Haaland, but he wasn't good in that game. He wasn't working out when I need to drop. He wasn't playing like how Pep wanted him to play.
Okay.
And then West Ham, and since then, the last couple of weeks, he's just worked out where the pockets are, where I need to be. Tonight's goal.
Timing of runs.
Who
he plays like.
When he came on tonight, I said first couple of times, that's a good run. That's a good run.
He was making
All of a
runs.
sudden, he's reading where things are opening up, and he's kind of just developed that in a really short space of time with a quick run in the team. And he's just coming in.
And do you know what I like about him as well, though?
He's coming in clutch.
It's the finishes. It's not even that he's just tonight's goal.
That was
splendid. I'm talking.
That looked like that Grealish's one against us at
Literally,
Villa.
top corner where you find the spiders in your house.
Do you know,
and I'm just gonna
well,
say,
there we go.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Literally,
got a top corner.
Literally top corner. But you know what I like that as well? It's the fact that
that's a sick one.
It's the fact that he's scoring. The ones in top corner like tonight, but also he knows where. The ones in the box, the little 6-yard tap-ins, arriving late. When you have that sort of that IQ to say, I know where I'm going to be, I know where I want to finish. That's a perfect way as well. I like when strikers score a variety of goals.
I make the comparison before you go. So I know people want to do the South America thing. Aguero. No, he's not like Aguero. I know they want to.
I know who
Tevez.
you're going to say. Oh, okay.
No, it's not Tevez and that. Dwight York, bro. Does anyone ever think the way he goes into spaces and the way he finishes,
he used to drop
and the way he looks for the other man rather than himself? It's Dwight York.
I hear it a bit.
Same size, same build, same tech.
Do you know
Dwight Alvarez?
The thing is, what you were just saying there is the back end of last season, I felt like his finishing dropped off a bit. He wasn't looking as clinical in front of goal. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit like, I don't know. But
you said to me, could a big club come in for him and stuff like that? You were thinking.
I thought after the World Cup that might happen, but he signed the contract and that wrapped it up straight away. But I was thinking, he's not looking that clinical. But this season, he just looks like a different player. And it's everything he does, the runs he makes, his finishing. He's taking our free kicks now.
Yeah.
I saw he bagged one as well.
He bagged one. He hit the post on the crossbar against West Ham. He's kind of getting it to a point where he's undroppable. He's undroppable, and it's just one of them selfless players that it's the right. I hate to say it because I love Jesus. Yeah, I love what he did, and look, no one will press like Jesus from the front. But when you look at it, Alvarez compliments Haaland, right? And I hate to say it, but it's like we've gone and upgraded on Jesus and thought now this is a goal scorer as well.
I'm not
still
making
making
the
runs.
Won the Champions League with him. He's gone to Argentina and won the World Cup. So when you talk about trophies as well, combining it,
he's won football, bro.
He is an
Club World Cup.
And also, do you know what? As well,
12
we
million
talk about mentality. We're talking about that in the group chats today. You look at Erling Haaland, as you said earlier, Erling Haaland didn't score, but other fans might say, Haaland didn't score this and that. At the end of the day, Haaland's that type of player that will be like, I didn't score. So do you know what?
Yeah.
I'll score the next game.
How old is he?
22.
Yeah,
Might just turn 23.
Alvarez is another one, though. Alvarez is another one. He doesn't be fazed by anything that's going on. Man come from the trenches in River Plate and I'm going to come to Man City, be a bit part player. Now I'll tell myself, he actually had the mentality to say, right, I'm going to come as this. Now I'm going to be one of the main men.
So in 2 years, he's won the Copa America with Argentina.
I think he might have
won the World Cup.
He won a treble with River Plate.
The only thing he hasn't won in England yet is an FA Cup.
Yeah. No, he won the FA Cup last year.
No, sorry, Carabao Cup.
He won the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
And hopefully he'll get the Club World Cup. And he did win. Trophy was huge. I don't know what it's called in America, but he won that.
Copa Libertadores, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. He's won that. But he's just very cool, calm. I don't know if you remember, but it was Kepa. It was Kepa for Chelsea last season, just after the World Cup. And Kepa tried to be Martinez, Argentina goalkeeper. We had a penalty, and he went up and was in Alvarez's face trying to put him off.
Kepa is a beg, man.
Like proper trying to do that. And you could see Alvarez just looked at him like, bro, like, are you mad?
Yeah,
I'm around the Argentinians. I know about this.
Yeah, exactly.
But and even
man plays Boca Juniors.
Even you see it like traveling to away games. You always see like often at the airport his brother, his brother's girlfriend. I think potentially Alvarez's girlfriend. Just they're very quiet, go about their business, and that's like him on the pitch. And the other one we've got to talk on, we do have to talk on, is Doku today. Now
big impact.
This is the big one for me. I looked at the lineup today, and I see Doku and I see Alvarez not starting. Now, I generally, when I look at things like this, like I was even looking at who started at the weekend, who started against Newcastle, trying to work out. And I think Alvarez and Doku not starting tonight tells me they may well both start. Now, for me, I really, really want Doku on the right. Yeah. Now, if he has to come on as a sub against Arsenal, but either way, I just want Pep to be looking at Zinchenko and thinking, there's two reasons why I feel we need to play Doku, and they're both to do with Zinchenko. Firstly, Zinchenko defensively is not that guy. Yeah, Doku will have him on ice, but second. Ice like Bambi. Thank you. Or on toast if you want it. Yeah, whichever you want. Whichever you want. The other reason is though the one thing I will say with Zinchenko is Zinchenko coming forward, inverting. He's very good at going forward. Zinchenko is very good. Now
that space in behind.
With Rodri not there, that could allow Arsenal for the first time to really overload the midfield against us. And get a bit of, if they get control of, you get control of the midfield against Manchester City and you're halfway there, right? So if we play Doku, Zinchenko's not going to be able to invert. He's not going to be able to come forward too much because it's going to be crazy. Because every time ball over the top to Doku. So I really want to see Doku, whether it be first half just straight out there against Zinchenko and pin him back, or second half. But yeah, today again, and that finish, cool, calm. I'm not going to lie. I said I don't know much about Doku when he arrived.
What did I tell you? I said to Mo, remember me and Mo were arguing about it on the stream? I said he is going to be that unique profile. How can Mo have
an argument when he said he's never really
watched
him?
But he said, I said he's going to be a unique profile. He's going to be an outlet. Like, I know Raheem Sterling is slightly different, but the way they run their short bursts of speed, that's what Sterling was like. And Doku is a bit like that as well. However, he's more direct in terms of 1v1. I think Doku is a great outlet because he can play left, he can play right, he's comfortable either side. You don't get many wingers in today's game that are actually comfortable left and right. The only one I can think of in the Premier League is actually Pedro Neto. He can play left, he can play right. But yeah, them two are very, much the same wingers. One's left foot, one's right foot, but they're direct. They can play 1v1 and they don't mind which side they play on. And they're great outlets as well.
One weakness in City that I saw today is the counter attack. It's sometimes, it's like I think this is where they miss John Stones. That is exactly it. See, John Stones' recovery pace is so underrated, and he's not slow. But I think if you put a John Stones in there, I think it tidies a lot up. And I think even looking at Rodri today, I think there was a lot of overloads from Leipzig that got turned over in the end. But when you think about what was in front of Rodri and what he used to have behind him, especially in Champions League, it's John Stones. Yeah. This is how important. Now, I think people and City fans can see how much John Stones means to the lineup.
If you think about the game, Cash, and I'll bring Sam into this as well, as much as you think City are susceptible to the counter-attack, when I've watched City at the Emirates in recent years, even last year, going back to the game when you won 3-1, was it in the end? Yeah. I thought Arsenal had quite a lot of the ball and City were happy just to sort of take their moments. So when you say that, they're susceptible on the counter-attack, Arsenal were not really going to be there to counter-attack. I think Arsenal were going to be trying to get on the ball and impose themselves. So that weakness of City actually won't hurt them this Sunday.
I need Arsenal to get touch Prince Andrew settings. Like, I need algorithms. My team suffered. Won it. I need a battering. I need a battering. No, I need a battering, bro.
Yeah. I hear you.
Because you know what? YouTube likes pain. I need Arsenal tears because they've been winning too much.
I can feel the pain. Me and you just looking at each other right now.
I'm even blinking.
Yeah, I'm even blinking. I can see it. I can see it through you. I can see it. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button, please. Make sure you do. It's down below. If you're on the live chat as well, just hit the little cross in your live chat and hit that thumbs up. It does help, like Cass said, with the algorithm as well, and helps us reach people all around the world. Cass, over to Sam. Actually, I'm getting you two mixed up now.
Super chat's quick.
The super chat there. There's another one there. Big up, King of 89, he says Alvarez is the next Aguero. I'll be honest with you, I actually think he's got a more of an all-round game. I'm not going to put him in that bracket.
I think Aguero's more of a box striker. And if anything, he's just central.
Yeah,
both Alvarez is more wide striker, isn't he? Like, he likes to go wide.
And like we said, he could drop in the 10 and do all that. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that every single time. If you want to get your super chats in as well, make sure you do that and we'll read them out.
Smash a like.
The interesting one is Rico Lewis and Bernardo Silva. So what touched them. Rico Lewis came in today, got an assist for Phil Foden. I really like the movement, actually. Little 1-2 with Bernardo. Again, like I said, them two coming back in. I don't expect him to probably start on Sunday, but it shows that, you know, you've got that depth. He's getting minutes, which is good. It's valuable. But Bernardo, the key one, he's always been the big game player. Bernardo Silva away at Liverpool a few years ago when he broke the 17 kilometers or whatever it was. Bernardo Silva last year, he is that guy that, like we say with Pep, doesn't matter about goals or assists. Give that guy an instruction and he will carry it out. How big is it for Bernardo to be back? And would you start him on Sunday?
Yeah, huge. Yeah, he in this kind of game, in a big game, you just notice the difference between the midfield tonight versus the midfield against Wolves on the weekend without Rodri and Bernardo. The way they both play, what they bring in terms of keeping the ball, just that experience of a Pep midfield. And the last few weeks, we've almost kind of lost. So if you go back to the Real Madrid semi-final last year, one of our best performances, that was kind of the epitome of how Pep was trying to play.
Yep.
You've got John Stones in midfield. You've got Rodri next to him. We've got Bernardo, Grealish, De Bruyne, Gundogan. Then you go back to then each week, obviously Gundogan goes, Rodri gets suspended, Bernardo gets injured, De Bruyne gets injured, Mahrez has gone, Grealish injured as well. So one by one, it's almost like the midfield was like dropping out and we had to bring new people in, and that kind of culminated in that result against Wolves. So to have Bernardo back on the pitch tonight, to be able to bring him in against Arsenal, and I think he'll play in the middle against Arsenal as well, because if you go to games that we played against Anfield, Liverpool away, he likes Bernardo deep to help with the build-up, because he knows Arsenal are going to press, they're going to be onto us, and he doesn't want, especially with Rodri not there, even more so, he doesn't want Bernardo not to be helping out with that build-up, not being...
Yeah, and he's good in half space on the turn, beat the press.
He's so difficult
and
to
he's
press.
running at your midfield then.
So it could be him and Kovacic or Nunes. I'm not sure which one he's gonna go with.
What about you, Daps?
I was just going to say as well, like even today,
Great
you can
point,
notice that the speed we were moving the ball at today with Bernardo on the pitch, it changes. Obviously Rodri there as well, so that Rodri is a valid point. But I just think Bernardo Silva, and this is the thing, people often, you know, say Bernardo is a winger. For me, my preferred position with Bernardo is not as a winger, it's as a midfielder, because he's got the legs. You've seen it. You spoke about the Liverpool game with the 17K. I'm pretty certain he's done that in quite a few games. He's done it against Tottenham before, I believe. And it's his energy, and it's when he gets the ball, especially in, like, Liverpool's a great example, but it will be similar with Arsenal, and I dare say it will have been before with you lot and any of the big games. There's moments where all you need is to relieve the pressure. Right, all you need is to get the ball forward. Right,
true.
Bernardo's the type of player, that can pick up the ball and just drive with it, right, and just make an awkward run. We saw the one a couple of years ago where Van Dijk's tripping over trying to catch up with him because the guy's got that low sense of gravity. Right, I'm not comparing him to Messi, but he dribbles with the ball a bit like Messi. And there's a lot of players that it's the low sense of gravity. Plays with that low sense of gravity, running, and he picks up the ball. If there's a bit of Arsenal pressure, makes a run.
They change direction so quick.
And you either pull him down as he gets into your half, and then all the pressure is relieved. Or alternatively, if he has other runners now, like Doku, Foden, Alvarez, Haaland running off him, Walker running off him, all of a sudden, and as well with Stones, like...
He didn't come on tonight, so I don't expect him to come in.
I think there's a bit of a difference. Look, Stones has been out all season since the Community Shield, Bernardo's been out for like 2-3 games.
Stones can get some little behind-the-scenes games. In the
Stones is one of them people that I think, look, Pep brought Stones in straight off the bat before. Like, he's one of those players that, and I do think the other thing is not going forward, the difference at the back. Look, Akanji, I'll always say how much of a great job he's done for, what was it, 14 million? Right? But there are levels between Akanji and John Stones, and we know the Diaz-John Stones partnership is different. Like, these are, if you look at last season...
Now you've got Gvardiol.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going below the radar as well. But I think if you look at Manchester City last season, when it all clicked, right? It was actually Leipzig away was the last bad game I believe we had last season before we went on a mad run. Yeah. We drew 1-1, and I remember at the end of the game we went 1-0 up. Then they scored. It was 1-1, I think. Yeah, Vardiol. Vardiol header. Yeah, and I remember me and Steve, right, we'll take a point. I was like, it's not about the point. We're in a title race. We can't be being 1-0 up. And once again, because just before the Leipzig game, we'd played Forest and we were 1-0 up and drew 1-1. So it's like last
Chris
2
Wood
games we've been 1-0 up. We can't be doing this if we're in a title race. And then it's when John Stones comes back, Ruben Diaz, it's the defence. Remember how good our defence was last season. I think Sam said a mad stat earlier that City, up until the Wolves game at the weekend, City had not conceded 2 goals in a game.
That stat was
since
crazy.
Tottenham at home in January. We had not conceded more than 2 goals in a game. So that's John Stones coming in is massive, and I think I'll be surprised if he doesn't start. Would you, John Stones? Do you think he'll start?
I think it might just be a bit too much for him to come. Like he hasn't played
I
a
don't
minute.
want him to be rushed back, but.
If he didn't have Gvardiol, I'd maybe think about it, but I feel like Gvardiol's gone quietly under the radar. I mean, so solid, and because he's got that left foot, right foot combination, I think Gvardiol deserves to start.
After Bernardo coming back in and playing full 90 minutes, I wouldn't put it past Pep to play.
I know, but I don't think Gvardiol's earned a way not to play. I think he's actually look. Listen, when people come in for 90, 100 million, 80 million, whatever Gvardiol has, a lot of people put them players under pressure. We've seen it at Man United. When they're not even being spoken about, it's like we work with, what we do in our job. When we work with our job, we always say no news is good news in our job, yeah? That is the same with Gvardiol. No headlines, doing his performances. He's kind of warranted his place in that game. And do you know what as well about Gvardiol, what I like? He is up for the fight. You look at Nottingham Forest game last week. Rodri went down, and they went down to 10 men. That back four of, Gvardiol, Diaz, they fought like animals. Daps was even there. You were even there. And you were saying they love the fight. They will love the fight on Sunday.
You still take Gvardiol out, but this is the thing.
You don't have to. You don't have
No,
to.
that's what I'm saying. I would start him.
After
I'm saying I would start Stones.
bench.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't start Stones. I would start Gvardiol.
Nah, see, right. So hold on. So the one conversation we had before. Firstly, you have to remember, Kanji came off after a knock today, right? Firstly. Yeah, but secondly, we were having a conversation earlier. My preferred back 3, but I'm not sure how it works. Yeah, or back 4 would be Ake, Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones. Right, but the only issue I said is that because you got to remember when Stones inverts, then you go to 3 at the back.
Diaz moves
the
over,
only thing is Diaz you kind of want in the middle. But tonight we actually saw Diaz play on the right. But I think this whole Gvardiol Stones is not a thing because
no, it's not a thing.
I think the debate is Stones and Walker because back end of last season,
would you keep Walker for the
back end of last season?
Pace.
But hold on, back end of last season, bro. The only Walker came in for the Real Madrid game against Vinicius and the FA Cup final.
Like
it's Stones.
Yeah,
he is captain now, but I
and
don't know.
You still need to rest him. I don't know if Martinelli's going to be back. It's
the only thing. Martinelli, look down the left. I've said it before. Whether Saka starts or not, he is a City fan. I'm more worried about Martinelli or Trossard.
You said
because Trossard's been good against us. Like last couple of times I've seen him for Brighton and for Arsenal, Trossard has been good.
It's his movement,
and you don't know what you're going to get with him. So you don't know. Do we go with Walker for pace or Stones for? And I think the main reason why you go with Stones ultimately is if he is fit, and let me be clear, I don't want him to be rushed back. I said this yesterday. If he's fit, is because we don't have Rodri, right? And so
so you're thinking actually with the pressure you might have, he can actually go in and help Kovacic and Bernardo in midfield.
That's what I'm
thinking. You're going for more the protection. I get that. No, I think that's a great way of putting it. And I think now when you look at it, the fact that we're here debating whether it's going to be Ake, Gvardiol, Diaz and Stones or Walker, Diaz, Gvardiol and Ake, that's a great depth. It's a good it's a good conundrum to have. And normally, as we've seen with Pep winning the treble, when he knows this team, he's built it, and I'll say it's one of his best complete squads. He has the quality to do that. So it is going to be interesting. Guys, we're actually going to have a proper Arsenal and Man City preview coming out on Friday. So make sure you look out for that. It's going to be a 20-minute segment talking proper about this game on the Sunday. Massive game, obviously. Arsenal versus Man City, top of the table clash. Of course, you could say that. Obviously, I know Liverpool and Spurs are there. But tonight, it was about the Champions League. We've had Newcastle thrashing PSG 4-1. Big up to them. Big night for them after 20 years out of Europe. And Man City doing the business in Germany with Julian Alvarez again making the difference. Guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you like the video, most importantly. Subscribe if you're new. And also check out the video content as well, which we're doing more from the studio as well. And I do hope you're enjoying it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.